TextEvo is a super fun new tool to animate text with. The first thing you do is take any text layer, and then in the TextEvo panel, first thing you want to do is just apply TextEvo. When you hit apply, you'll see it applies 3 effects: evolution, delay in, and reverse in. And then of course you need to say, well, what do you want to animate? So under the add menu, you go ahead and select whatever you want to animate. So in this case, we want to animate position, so we just select position. And then just right away in the default, if we hit play, you can see here it does this nice little animation. Of course, we wanted to animate in from out of frame, so if we go to the beginning of the animation, you can see now it added position in here. You can just animate, or sorry, set the amount that you wanted to animate in from. So we have it go off frame, and now when we hit play, you can see that it's just animating in from out of frame. Now, of course, let's say I don't want it to animate letter by letter. I just go ahead and select the text layer, and then instead of instead of letters, I just select words. So now the entire word animates in together. But it's more fun to animate in one letter at a time. So I just go ahead and go back to letters and hit play. So now we're back into letters. And what's really cool about TextEvo is it's modular. You can keep adding whatever you want. So let's say, for example, that I also want to animate scale, and you want it to animate from really big. So we'll say like 300, 300, 300. And you can see here how cool and modular it is. So if we go to the beginning, we can see now it's still kind of in frame now, so we can adjust the position in a little bit more. You can actually do the X too, like, so it can come in from the side and from the bottom. So now we hit play, you can see now it's doing both position and scale, and you can keep adding these as many as you want. So we'll go ahead and say, for example, add the fill color and make it coming in from a blue color, or I don't know, green color. So now you can see it comes in from green, scale. You get the idea. Now the evolution, I don't know if you noticed, is keyframed by default. So if we go ahead and hit the U key, we revealed the 2 keyframes. And this is how, for example, if you wanted to animate in a little bit faster, you just move it in tighter, or if you wanted to move a little bit slower, we'll move the work area out. So you can see now much more graceful, it's coming in. And then that's great. Now we've animated our text in. Now we want it to animate out. So you just basically go to where you want it to animate out. We'll say animate out right there. We'll extend our work area a little bit. And now we switch TextEvo from in to out. And we just select the out. And then we go ahead and hit apply again. And you'll see that it now added evolution out. So here we have evolution in and all the in controls. And now here we have evolution out and the out controls. And so you can animate out based on something else. So we go ahead and say, for example, now we want to animate out with opacity. And if we hit U again, you will see that now we have 2 sets of keyframes. We have the keyframes animating in, and now we have the keyframes animating out. And if we just go ahead and play, you can just see by default how the opacity animates. So, well, that's the stuff that we did animating in, and how the opacity animates out from left to right. If we wanted to reverse that, we can just go ahead and hit this reverse checkbox. So, and then go ahead and play that, and you can see now the opacity will animate out in the reverse order. And that's really it. You can keep doing this all you want. Now, one other thing I want to show here is, so we'll go ahead and delete the scale in, so you can just delete it. And so now we're back left to just the position. And we'll go ahead and also remove the the X, so we'll set this back to 0. And this is what's really great about TextEvo, is that sort of this real-time interaction is really just fun, and you're just focusing on the animation as opposed to digging through tons and tons of little settings and stuff. So now we have it coming in, but let's say we wanted to sort of like animate in and then sort of overshoot the animation, which is something that's really nice to do. You can either do it by setting a new keyframe in evolution. So here we can have it go, because you can actually overshoot it. So here I've set a keyframe into the negative. So now when I preview this, you'll see it goes up and then down. And we can also, of course, move this around so that we can see how that looks. You see that? So it's got this nice little bounce up and down. Or you can now say just delete that keyframe, and you can actually open the motion graph and select the slider, and then just animate the graph. So we can actually have it. So see, by having it go past here, it's going to have a little bit of an overshoot. So now if we press play, it's got another overshoot. The reason it's nice to do it this way is because it's actually a very smooth curve, so it has this really nice, elegant motion to it. So that's it in a nutshell. TextEvo, it's really just super easy to use to animate text and get some really, really pleasant effects very, very quickly.